Alright, so this is a bit of a historic moment right here. This, in fact, is the very first football related video on this channel, and since this is currently the season for the UEFA Nations League, I have decided to briefly analyze some of the big teams of who are competing in this tournament, who will also be competing in the FIFA World Cup later this year. So, as you can see by the title, today's team of discussion is going to be the French national team who just finished a match against Austria a few hours ago. So yeah, with that being said, welcome to the first ever football related video on this channel, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so what on earth is exactly happening with Didier Deschamps' men at the moment? I mean, I know a lot of people don't generally care about the UEFA Nations League, but if you look at things from France's perspective, they have been struggling against teams like Denmark and Austria in recent games. Now, I know a lot of people are going to argue with the fact that France haven't exactly been playing their A side with Paul Pogba, who hasn't been featured in these last three games, and N'Golo Conte hasn't played much either. But on the other hand, France do have the likes of Karim Benzema, Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, and Christophe Nkunku, who are all world-class players. And for players of such caliber, struggling against teams like Austria, I would say, isn't a very good sign. Getting down to today's match, France's attack and their finishing product wasn't very clinical up front, I feel. They played a 4-2-3-1 formation with Griezmann being the CAM, and he honestly has been struggling a lot lately, and on top of that he has now gone 20 plus matches without scoring a goal for club or country. So yeah, of course he isn't really contributing in goal scoring aspects either. And then you have the likes of Diaby and Coman. Diaby, I feel he was very average in today's game, and Kingsley Coman, who I genuinely think and I feel many people will agree with me on this one, is arguably one of the best wingers on the planet right now. He definitely is France's most creative winger at the moment, and he certainly proved so in that game. You know, whenever he goes forward with the ball, he is very creative. He knows how to create spaces, and that boost of massive pace and acceleration that he has plays a major role as well. But then again, the one thing that Kingsley Coman struggles the most with is his finishing. He had that one very good opportunity in the second half against Austria today, right around the 56th minute, and he just blasted it over. So yeah, the Austrian defense obviously looked very compact and tight in the first half of this match. They didn't really allow France to create much openings, and whenever they did, their goalkeeper Patrick Benz pulled some massive saves, and he kept Benzema quiet in that first half as well. The turning point for France in this game was obviously the substitutes. Once again, Kylian Mbappe proving why he is one of the best players in the world today, why he is so crucial for both his club and his country, stepping up when needed the most and scoring the equalizer as well. And of course, with that being said, another man who has been equally impressive this season, the one and only Christophe Nkunku, absolutely vital for RB Leipzig this season. And as soon as he was brought on today by Deschamps, France's flair and their style of attack almost changed. The game almost changed in their favor, and then of course Nkunku made that assist to Mbappe, which led to the equalizer. However, I would say that overall it was a rather more disappointing performance from France here as well, and so far it has been a disappointing campaign in this Nations League. They they do need to get a lot of things fixed before the World Cup begins, and as far as I know, their squad for the 2022 World Cup is yet to be announced. So yeah, with that being said, I will now take a look at what France's potential starting 11 could look like at this FIFA World Cup and give everyone an idea of what the potential squad might look like for the Qatar World Cup. So now I'll just quickly share my screen with you guys and give you a brief detailing of what France's starting 11 in this year's FIFA World Cup could possibly look like. So yeah, sharing screen. There we go. And here we are. All right, so starting at goal, I would obviously pick Hugo Lloris, the captain of the French national team and Tottenham Hotspur, over someone like Mike Magnan, who has been excellent for AC Milan last season. He won the league with AC Milan, and he also won the league the year before with Lille, the French League One, of course. But given the experience of Hugo Lloris, I feel he definitely deserves a nod ahead of someone like Mike Magnan, given the fact that this will also be Lloris's final World Cup at the age of 34. Now, for the right back position, there's only one option in that position, and that's Bayern Munich's Benjamin Pavard. He is very experienced at this point. He also plays for a big club in the form of Bayern Munich, as we all know. And there is also another option that we could have gone for in the form of Jonathan Klaus, who plays for Lens. But I do feel that experience factor gives Pavard the edge over someone like Klaus. Centre back, I'm gonna have to go with Ibrahim Konate of Liverpool. I know a lot of people will probably pick someone like Rafael Varane over Konate because of the fact that he's more experienced. He has also won the World Cup before. But if you look at it, Varane last year had a very poor season with Manchester United. He obviously didn't live up to his expectations fully. And Ibrahim Konate, on the other hand, he was exceptional for Liverpool. He had a very good Champions League final against Real Madrid, despite ending up on the losing side. And I personally feel he was better than Virgil van Dijk in that particular game. And of course, he has been scoring a lot of goals lately as well. So yeah, for me, I would say that Deschamps could start someone like Konate up front ahead of Varane. For the time being, maybe if he feels like he could probably switch it up going forward in the tournament. And the same could be said for his centre back partner, who I think should be Presnel Kimpembe of Paris Saint Germain. There we have it, Presnel Kimpembe. A few people might argue with the fact that we could possibly put someone like Lucas Hernandez, at the centre back position instead of Kimpembe. But for now, I'll just stick with Kimpembe because, um, yeah, simply because he has been featured a lot more in the centre back position lately. Left back, there is only one option as of right now, and that's Theo Hernandez. I know a lot of people are a fan of Luca Dean, but Theo Hernandez once again had a very good season last year. With AC Milan, he won the league, was very influential in their title winning campaign. So yeah, I would have to say that he needs to start ahead of someone like Luca Dean. Center midfield, N'Golo Kante, of course. We know how good he is in that defensive midfield position, and partnering him will be Paul Pogba. Of course, whenever Paul Pogba plays for France, he is really, really exceptional, a special player to watch almost. And we all know that his chemistry with N'Golo Kante is very good, and the duo have always lived up to their expectations whenever they represent the national team. Now, the big one would obviously be who would be the third midfielder partnering Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante. Um, we have a lot of options to pick from. We have Chouameni, who has been linked with Real Madrid, who is almost a Real Madrid player by this point. But the thing is, again, he is very young at this stage, even though he's an exceptional midfielder. But yeah, he is very young. And there is also another midfielder that I'm a big fan of, Eduardo Camavinga, another Real Madrid midfielder. He could represent France, but then again, he's just 19 years old. He could probably sit on the bench and, come out of bench when needed and probably make a big impact like he usually does for Real Madrid. So for this position, I could have gone with Chouameni, but for now, I'll just stick to Adrian Rabiot, Juventus midfielder. Adrian Rabiot, I'll just stick with him. And CAM, of course, this is another big position to fill in. The last time at the FIFA World Cup 2018, we saw Antoine Griezmann run riot from this particular position. He was constantly scoring goals. He was one of France's best players in that tournament. But of course, we all know how poor he has been lately. Antoine Griezmann. So I feel there is only one man who could fill his position at this moment. That's none other than Christoph Nkunku. I mean, this guy has been very, very good for RB Leipzig last season. He won them the DFB Pokal. He has been scoring goals a lot. He also provides lots of assists, so that's a plus point for France. For now, I do believe that I will start with someone like Christoph Nkunku over someone like Antoine Griezmann, given on their current form. And the two men up front, of course, Kylian Mbappe and the ever dangerous Karim Benzema. Yeah, there we have it. This is the French 11, which I feel should be starting at this year's FIFA World Cup. I know a lot of big changes compared to their 2018 lineup. You had Benjamin Mendy at left back. Speaking of left back, Farlan Mendy definitely deserves a shout after that exceptional season with Real Madrid. He could be the backup for Theo Hernandez, but for now, I will just go with Theo Hernandez because of the fact how good he is whenever he runs up the pitch. You know, he's very good with his crosses, and his movement and his ball control is also very good, I feel. But yeah, like I was saying, that a lot of changes compared to France's lineup from the 2018 World Cup. You had Griezmann, who was starting in this position. You know, Christopher Nkunku was nowhere near the starting 11. In fact, he was nowhere near the squad, I believe, at that point. The midfield probably stays the same. I'm not quite sure what the midfield was last year. Sorry, 4 years ago. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Adrian Rabiot was around at that point. So yeah, I would stick with Adrian Rabiot for this time being. And Aurelien Tchouameni could come off the bench, just like Eduardo Camavinga, if needed. And yeah, they could definitely make an impact for Didier Deschamps whenever he needs them. The defense, of course, is another big aspect. France obviously have a lot of options to choose from. They have Jules Koundé, another great defender. They could He could possibly step in for someone like Ibrahim Konate if needed. Then they have William Saliba. Didn't look very good in today's game against Austria, but of course he is just 21 years old, obviously on the rise, and is a big prospect. So yeah, he could also step in if needed. But for now, I would do think that Konate and Kimpembe should be the ones who should start. If needed, I would probably switch it up between Konate and Lucas Hernandez, or maybe Konate and Varane. But I do feel that Ibrahim Konate is going to be a very crucial part of this French side going forward. So yeah, this is basically the French national team that could start for Didier Deschamps later this year at the World Cup. Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema, the two strikers up front. Christophe Nkunku, CAM, Rabiot, Kante, Pogba in the midfield, Pavard right back, Konate, Kimpembe, CBs, and the left back Theo Hernandez at goal, of course. Hugo Lloris, the captain. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the starting 11 and who you feel could possibly replace these men in this lineup. Okay, so that's basically it for this first football related video on this channel. I feel that I chose a very strong topic to, make this video on the French national team, the world champions, who are looking to defend their crown later this year. And obviously, they're not enjoying the best of runs at the moment with the UEFA Nations League. But I do feel that things could possibly turn around, later this year when they finally step onto the field in Qatar. But yeah, later today, we do have a match between England and Italy in the Nations League. I'm hoping to make a video on that as well, but for now, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do hit the subscribe and like button, or like and subscribe button, how you want to put it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.